All right. So once again, good morning. Good to see you all. I call to order this penultimate business meeting of the Maryland Lynching Truth and Reconciliation Commission. As always, it has been an honor and a pleasure being in this role. So moving along with our agenda, I will acknowledge commissioners and staff who are joining us so far this morning. So Commissioner Millen, good morning. Vice Chair Chavez, good morning. Commissioner Haley, good morning. Commissioner Barnes, good morning. Commissioner Baker, good morning. Commissioner Davis, good morning. Commissioner Armenti, good morning. Commissioner Coles, good morning. Commissioner Creary, good morning. Commissioner Parker, good morning. And Commissioner Dupree Wilson, good morning. And to our staff, Arusha, good morning to you. Moving along with our agenda, I hope that everyone had a chance to check out the business meeting minutes from last month. Arusha did a wonderful job with that. Please share if there are any edits that need to be made to those minutes, and if not, is there a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Creary. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Any opposed? Anyone abstain? Okay, motion carries. The minutes are accepted as presented. All right, so moving along, all I have to say is we are near the end. As I said before, this is our second to last business meeting. So as we have been for a while, I'm sure we are in moments of reflection as it comes to this 7-year experience that we have had. Many of you have been here literally from the very beginning. And so there is a lot to cover, a lot to reflect on. We won't be able to do it all today or even our next meeting, which will be the last meeting of the commission. But certainly, as I continue to express nothing but gratitude and appreciation for this experience that I have had. As I said in the beginning, I say now with even more certainty, this is probably the most important work that I will ever do in my life. Everything after this will try to meet the level of meaning and impact and consequence that this experience has had for me. I trust that many of you feel the same way. And so again, nothing but gratitude and appreciation for the trust, the faith, the patience, and every other virtue that goes into this type of work. And so with that, I will make space for any commissioners that would like to share anything that's on their heart and their soul in this moment. Yes, Commissioner Creary, I see your hand.
Yeah, thank you, Chair Falconley. Again, like you, I share in the gratitude to have had this experience for the last 7 years. And again, as I reflect on our work, I'm still a little shook by the fact that it was last week that the Speaker of the Alabama House of Representatives asked the Supreme Court to repeal the 14th Amendment. As if we didn't need another something to highlight the significance of the work that we've done and why this work is so necessary and why it has to continue after we close up shop next month. It's truly been an honor to work with you all, and I hate to say it, but I look forward to working with you all as we move forward, to fight the things that are confronting us today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Another battle to fight. Oh, we'll do it. Anyone else? Any other commissioners have anything they'd like to share?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Vice Chair.
Yeah, I just similar to what everyone else is saying, I'm just honored to have spent this time with you all to do this important work over the last 7 years. I'm kind of in the same space that Nick is in terms of we knew that the commission was going to come to an end eventually, but everything that's going on currently and seems like on a daily basis shows us that the work is not done and that we have to continue this fight beyond this commission. And so I'm empowered that we did this work, and I think I'm ready and excited to find ways to continue to fight moving forward and beyond the commission. So thank you all.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Vice Chair Chavis. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure. Any other commissioners have anything they'd like to share at this time? And we still have our final meeting in June. We'll talk about that on the agenda because as you saw, I want that to be in person. That's how we started. I like that to be how we finish, so that we can just spend that entire time. And I will tell people, plan for the whole 2 hours, if not more, to just, again, be in space with each other and talk about what we just did for the last 7 years and what that means. So if you don't have your words now, you still got a month to figure them out. Okay. And Waffle House is going to have to happen in some form or fashion. And yes, we'll have to bring Trish back. And I would love to do that, actually. I would love to extend an invitation to everyone who's been a part of this journey to come back to our last meeting, to, again, see each other, be in space with each other, and just reflect on what we did and the journey ahead. So Waffle House, yeah, I'm gonna make sure I'm hungry for that meeting. So moving along with our agenda, thank you for those that shared their thoughts in that moment. To members of the public, as grateful as we are for each other as commissioners, we are grateful for you and being with us throughout these 7 years. And as always, we make space for you to share who you are. So in the chat, you can put your name, your affiliation. We know most of y'all already, but it's good. Continue to introduce yourselves. And as always, we appreciate you for holding us accountable and supporting us and just being here to tell the story, even when we can't. So with that, I'll move along with the agenda. To our committees, is there anything that you want to share? Anything that needs to be discussed? Yeah, see, that's where we at the end. What's there to talk about at this point? Appreciate it. Just making space just in case. All right. So moving straight to our new business. As I mentioned before, I would love for us to have the last meeting in person. I recall Commissioner Davis volunteering the Riversdale Museum. Would that be, is that still possible for, and this would be Monday, June 8th is our last scheduled meeting.
I am happy to have the group, but as a reminder, I will not be here, unfortunately. I would be happy to have the meeting here at Riversdale. I'll just need to talk to my team.
Okay.
And just confirm. I can check in with them tomorrow. Like, only 2 of us are here today, so I'll check in tomorrow just to make sure that's okay, and then give you a confirmation.
Okay, sounds good. And thank you for volunteering the Riversdale Museum. Worst case scenario, I would love to have an alternate just in case that does not work out. But before we get to that, Commissioner Haley, I see you.
Yes, my preference would be Riversdale Museum too, but if Commissioner Davis can't be there, then it gives me pause because I would love for her to be the hostess of this.
Right.
I know, I'm so mad I'm going to miss this.
but life goes on and you have other obligations. As far as the circle, then I'm speaking for the circle that we began at, I think, was it at Rolling Run? I think that's where we've had one of our first actual meetings was at Rolling Run, which is our off-site branch of the Maryland State Archives. And I certainly could ask if that would be available again. Now that is Baltimore County, so it's not what we've been used to or the different places that we've been. But I would certainly, again, in respect and appreciation of the journey that we've all been on, I like to think of pre-COVID when we began this journey, that perhaps sitting in that space might also be something that could be someplace where we could sort of reflect on where we were and how far we've come. So I will check on that. Just
absolutely
a possibility.
Thank you, Commissioner Haley. I appreciate it. I was thinking about that too. Certainly both spaces have a historical reverence in different ways. one in the grand scheme, but one specific to our story. So I think either space will be great. So thank you both for looking into that possibility. Commissioner Barnes, I see your hand.
And alternatively, there's the Lily Carroll Jackson Civil Rights Museum in Baltimore.
Mhm.
And David, I'm speaking for you, Minty. I'm not, there's the Center for History and Culture also in Baltimore.
Mhm.
If those are, I'm throwing out those as options as well.
Okay, no,
And the
wonderful.
Lewis and the
And the
Lewis
Lewis,
Museum.
okay,
I was
so we
going.
got
I
options.
meant to say to Lewis. I didn't know you were on, Robert.
I'm here,
No.
Mr. Barnes. Thank you.
No, that's wonderful.
So
I'm
we have
glad-
options. We have
We got
options.
options, yeah, because I'll say we got the National Great Blacks and Whites Museum too. If we need to, we can get in there, whatever. So I got the key.
Are we planning to have food delivered or something? I know the commission can't pay for it, but
Right. So I would say it would be potluck style. If people want to volunteer or donate some type of food or drink, I would absolutely like there to be food. I'll still have space for Waffle House. Don't worry, Nick.
yeah,
but yeah,
maybe we could get some trays and everybody could pitch in that kind
yeah,
of thing.
that would be wonderful. So yeah, if people are willing to bring food or drink, or if they want to donate money for food and drink, I can get it. We have time to plan all that out. So just let me know. We'll follow up after this meeting to get all those things rolling. But the most important thing is we will be in person someplace. We'll figure out where that place is, and we'll have some refreshments while we celebrate.
Wasn't it Cheryl and Eiffel who said at some point there should be chicken?
Yeah, that's true.
She did say that. She did.
Right. How could we not?
And we must remember to invite her.
Yeah.
Yes, that's very true.
So I would
And,
say along with the logistics, yeah, think about people that we would like to invite into this space. Again, it's going to be a celebration. We'll do the official business because it is technically the business meeting. So we'll get that out the way, and then we'll spend the rest of the time to celebrate. So yeah, thank you for that, Commissioner Barnes. Commissioner Coles, I see your hand.
Thank you. I was just going to say, I thought the meeting we had at Bowie was also really nice, and it was nice to have access to the cafeteria. So maybe a HBCU could also be an option.
Thank you for that,
We
Commissioner
did
Coles.
have Morgan before in the Dr. Barrett got us in the conference. I guess in the library on the 4th floor.
Yeah.
The conference room
Yeah,
for the
Bell Center.
board.
Yeah.
The conference room for the board on the 4th floor. That's a good place too.
Yeah, I was thinking about Morgan certainly makes sense. The space that I'm in, the Health and Human Services Center, so the new building, if anyone's been on the campus, it's got a big room that we could certainly use. I'm curious the availability, especially since the school year will be over very soon, thank God.
But the
that might be a
parking
possibility. Parking is a challenge. Parking would be a challenge. So yes, I appreciate parking definitely being part of the consideration with what we decide. So but the most important thing is I'm glad we have options and we have time to figure all this out. So to those who represent different spaces, hopefully within the next week or a few days, you can get some confirmation as to just what's feasible. And then we can have a discussion about where we actually have the meeting and thinking about what we want to bring to the space. Commissioner Dupree Wilson, I see your hand.
Yes, I was going to say, you can add Cochran to the list. I don't know if you saw my message in the chat, but
okay. Thank you.
Since we're talking.
Right. So sounds like we might have to do a tour of all these different locations and pay our respects, which is fine. But I'm very glad that we have, again, different options to explore. So definitely more to come in that regard. Being mindful of time because, yes, Commissioner Davis, I see your hand.
I was just going to say, I would happily take Riversdale off the list because it seems like we have like an abundance of locations. And
Right.
I'm only mad that I can't go to the other places.
Right. No, well, we'll keep all our options open. So I'll still please ask you to just see what's possible at Riversdale. Sophie, is it okay if we do this offline? Could we do like a Google form and just like, okay, good. Just making sure it's on the up and up. All right, so we'll figure it out.
As long as you just post the address, you give enough notice to the
right
with the address.
Okay, sounds good. So that's how we'll do it. Vice Chair, I see your hand.
Yes, I was thinking about the commission, not the commission, but the coalitions, and with Amy, are we going to make sure that they get invites as well?
I think that's up to the chair how big we're inviting. How
Gotcha. Okay.
it is a public meeting.
Yeah, right. They can come if they want to.
Well, I was just thinking,
I'd say yes. Invite again. So while this will technically be a business meeting, we're gonna blaze through that in like 5 minutes. We really want this to be a celebration. So to me, anyone who has had a role to play in this journey should be invited. If they show up, great. If they don't, that's okay. But it's a form of acknowledgement that they had. They brought value to this. So yes,
none of this would have been possible without the support.
Of course,
so I think that's really important.
Yeah, and I certainly encourage you all. We represent many different networks, so those who are most connected to anyone who should be here, invite them. You have my permission. Invite everybody. I want this to be a party, for sure. All right, I see a few hands. Commissioner Barnes, I see your hand, and then I'll come to you, Commissioner Kelly, and then to you, Commissioner Miller.
So now that we're really opening it up, we really need to think of the larger spaces with adequate parking.
Mm-hmm.
So I thus removed the Lily Carroll Jackson Museum reluctantly.
Fair enough. So what I'll ask after this meeting, just send me a quick email and just say I volunteer. Once you find out if it's feasible, you can just send me an email and just say I volunteer this space. I'll compile, make a simple Google form, and we'll make it democratic. Let's choose what spot we want to be in. So hopefully everyone can get some form of confirmation by the end of the week. And then by the end of the week, I'll send out the Google form with what choices are available. Commissioner Haley.
Hi, since it is a public meeting, certainly it's the Opens Act, so it has to be open to all anyway. And since it's our last meeting, this is like the push and the pull of it. Should we have a press release of some type to announce that this is the final meeting for the Maryland Lynching Truth and Reconciliation Commission, the first of its kind in the United States of America, in the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, is going to have its last meeting Monday, June 8th. Now, again, will there be chicken enough for everybody? I don't know. If we have it broadly, but I think to some degree there should be an acknowledgement of that, and then it sort of takes it out of the. If we're going to do that, then depending on how broad it gets, how much. I guess it just makes it more complicated, perhaps, if a lot of people do show up who have had something to do with us. But again, people from the public. Will want to see, well, what are they going to talk about on their last meeting? What are they going to say? What are they going to do? I mean, we're reporters there, be all that. But I do think it is worth acknowledgement, certainly to reporters in general, reporters who have covered us from Prince George's County, from the Eastern Shore or whatever, to also let them know that the final meeting of our commission is going to take place.
Y'all keep coming up with some great ideas. And yeah, I mean, for all the reasons that you shared, Commissioner Haley, that makes a lot of sense. We knew that this commission was making a statement in 2019. It's definitely making a statement in 2026. So yeah, so I think the big thing is doing it. Shouldn't be that hard. We have plenty of templates of press releases. The distribution is something we'll have to think about. So again, I think with all these things coming up to this last meeting, I'm just going to ask and appreciate commissioners there. One last push of energy to help get the word out about this last meeting, be it to, again, supporters, any allies that we've had, certainly media outlets. Yeah, let's go out with a bang. Not a metaphorical bang, not a real one. I don't need that on my soul right now. But let's end this with a celebration in the midst of all this, because we've been doing this work in the midst of all this, and we still did the work, and that means something. So I'm all for it. Commissioner Coles, I see your hand.
Thank you. I think a press release is a great idea. I was just going to say, if we're concerned about drawing too much interest or too much attendance, we could always issue it after the meeting and just say we held this meeting and kind of highlight what we did or include any pictures or things like that. But Just wanted to throw that out there.
No, thank you for that. We have to, yeah. I mean I'm glad that we're being thoughtful about it, and so those are things that we will have to discuss over the next week or so, really, because we got next couple of weeks to figure out the best way to have again this particular space. Commissioner Creary, I see your hand.
Thank you. Yeah, I threw in the chat, maybe, again, maybe we should ask Bowie State to see if they'd be willing to host us, since they've been stepping up, of course, given the announcement that they're facing a budget situation. They may not be in a position to, but I throw that out there. The other thing I want to throw out, and I don't know if anybody's starting to work on an invite list, but we definitely need to make sure we invite our colleagues from 3PV, since they did the work to get that report done. Even if they can't make it, we need to make sure that we invite them.
All the
Absolutely.
legislators. And
Yeah.
maybe we need a registration so we get a sense of how many come, like some sort of registration. And let's say registration is recommended, not necessarily required. And then we can see exactly how many people might show up so that we're ready.
Yeah, I think at this point, that's kind of the route we're going. So let's start with venue. So again, everybody who's got contacts, please reach out sometime this week to just see what's feasible. I will do the same with Morgan, just to have yet another space that we could possibly consider. And once we have an idea of the spaces that we can use, we can start to compile our list of invitees, come up with registration, because I think that makes a lot of sense. That will help dictate how much food we bring, what we can do, even how we distribute the food. If we, I don't know, wait till after the meeting's over technically and then have the food, we can figure all that out. We do have some time. So thank you all for that, but just start to do that background work is what I would greatly ask you to do at this time. Commissioner Millen, did you still have your hand up? Commissioner Barnes? Okay, so Commissioner Millen.
Yeah, I do. I'm
Oh.
sorry. Yeah, and maybe the HBCUs can support a portion of the food purchase.
I'm not
see
holding
if
my
they
breath
can-
on that one, but I like the idea.
Well, possibly. I remember with the Commissioner Barrett was able to support a lunching, and so
Yes.
maybe that maybe the Lewis can. I can check to see if if it's just one tray or something, like
Yeah.
we'll pay for this tray, you'll pay for that tray, you'll pay for that
Right.
tray. But not saying the only ones, but just
Of course,
saying
of
that would
course.
at least give us some basics, at least get us the chicken.
Listen, exactly. I was about to say the sides at least. Somebody else gonna have to get the chicken.
Bring your own chicken. No, I like that. Yeah, and the good thing I will say with any of our certainly higher education institutions is it's coming up on the end of the fiscal year. They are trying to get money out, so maybe there's a chance we can make an ask that can be acquiesced. And so I'll do the same again with my department, and I ask all of you if there's a possibility of some financial support for the celebration. That's greatly appreciated. Just let us know, and wherever we as commissioners have to fill in those gaps, I trust we'll do what we can. Commissioner Millen, I see you.
Yeah, you're making the logistics committee work here in the last.
One final push.
Yeah. So the new MLMP's newsletter was going to go out maybe this afternoon. So maybe if you're comfortable, I would just say commission sunsetting, stay tuned for details, hold the date kind of thing.
Yeah, I think a save the date is totally fine. Yeah.
I want to miss the opportunity since the newsletter is going out.
Yeah. And just, I would say, direct them to the website, all that information. And we'll try to do it as early as possible so that people have ample time to prepare. So thank you for that.
And then it would, if we're growing a list of invitees, it would make sense, I think, to invite the speaker, since she co-sponsored, or not co-sponsored, co-wrote with Commissioner Creary, even the governor. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, all
Delegate
those
White Holland,
legislators.
everybody. Yeah,
And then
legislative Black Caucus. Sure, let's go for it.
the last was the bill sponsors on both sides of the House for
Mhm.
the apology and acknowledgement, because
Yep.
they stepped up and responded, even though it stalled. They did make that effort. So it'd be nice to appreciate them in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. No disagreements with any of that. So I think the main thing is just compiling a list, because I don't want to forget anybody, especially since this is it. So again, I would say everybody start compiling your own list, and we can easily bring it together. Anybody that is coming up for you that is like, yes, make sure they're here, make sure that they're invited. Do that whenever you get a chance, and just start sending it to me, and I'll start putting the list together just to make sure that it's centralized. But I realize that we all are going to have our different, again, networks as it related to this work. And so I encourage you all to, again, dive into those networks to make sure we cover everybody as much as we can.
Can we agree on some, like, I guess, time? So when we make those calls, like, are we traditional regular time or 12 to 2 or something, like, so that we can kind of have an idea?
Yeah, well, I mean, typically, our meetings have been 11:30 to 1:30.
Okay.
So if we want people to start to arrive around 11 o'clock,
okay,
I think that would be helpful. I think we'd probably be done no later than 2.
Okay.
I think we'd probably be done before 2. Like, that's 3 hours, solid 3 hours. I think that's enough, right? So we'll say 11 to 2 is the total time, but the meeting itself remains 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. officially. Commissioner Barnes, you have something you want to share?
I'm sorry again. I didn't put my hand. And then I guess we really need to highlight the accomplishments and how unique it is and historic. Those are the main things that we want to emphasize on that last meeting. I think. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. It like, again, it'll be a celebration, and the celebration is because we actually did something. We actually did a lot, and this will be the time for us to truly, I think, grasp how much we accomplished, because it was, everything we did was historic, and that remains the same. All right. So I appreciate that. Commissioner Haley, I see your hand.
Yes, I'm thinking as far as the circle goes, initially what we were talking about was a small meeting that we were going to reflect ourselves about what this has been, what the journey's been. Of course, now it's not that, potentially not that. And I had thought in terms of with President Millen that there could be an opportunity for all of the different Maryland Lynching Memorial projects, such as, I think we have 3 members, co-chairs of Prince George's County, who might want to be present and make a statement. So I think we're probably at the point now with an agenda really needs to be implemented now, where perhaps we focus on the fact that for 1 solid hour, it is only for the commissioners to reflect. And even if we say at some point, this is a meeting where the commissioners will reflect on this journey, not to say that everybody who's here can talk, but this is a meeting where, especially people, like if the governor shows up, obviously we need the governor. If the speaker shows up, obviously we need the speaker. They have to have their moments, and the co-sponsors of the bill. But the focus of it should still be the 18 or how many of us, and I would say that those of us who were commissioners and are able to attend again can have space to speak about their joint individual journeys, so that we still maintain the core of what we wanted this to be, which is what it was at the beginning, that these people joined together to take on this mission, this scope, or what have you. While we celebrate, it's for us at the core to reflect, not for everybody to reflect outside, because then the meeting doesn't end, it just goes on and on and on. So just, of course, I think, again, it goes back to the logistics chair.
I wanted to say this real quick. Marshall just texted me. He wanted somebody to let him in.
Oh, sorry, that's me. I did not see that anymore. Thank you, Charles. I don't see him. I don't see him. He might not have the right link then, because I don't see him on my. on my waiting list. Okay, let me send a copy and paste. I'm going to copy and paste this in the. Go ahead.
Chair, maybe there could be maybe some of us could pull together and do a quick conversation to talk about the logistics, framing and speaker list, etc. So,
Yes.
Sure.
That sounds like that will have to be the case. So we'll send an email offline to try to. Oh, there's already something on. All right. So the meeting for the executive team that's on the 15th at 12. We're gonna have to do that one. It's already there. So now we know what we're talking about. So Sophie, you don't have to ask. We showing up.
Okay. He's in now. Thank you.
All right.
Okay,
So
and if there's anyone else you want me to add to that meeting for planning purposes, just let me know.
absolutely. Thank you. Okay. Being mindful of time, I know there's some commissioners that have to hop off, and I do want to make space for Ms. Warren, who is here. Thank you for joining us. All right, we now have to take a vote on who will be the representative on the Maryland Reparations Commission. So thank you for yes, Sophie. I see hand.
Yes, so before we take the vote, I just wanted to make sure Arusha is online because you'll have to record who voted and how they voted for the minutes. I did see it going on, but just flagging that.
And no, not a problem. And for the purpose, so as I shared in the email, it is Commissioner Creary and myself who are willing to serve in this role. Should we step out and then someone just kind of text us when we come back in?
Are you planning on voting as well? I mean, it's up to you if you want to vote and then step out, or if I think it's just the comfort of the commissioners. It's going to be recorded anyway, so you don't necessarily have to step out.
Yeah, I mean,
Can they stay in the vote and then recuse themselves from voting?
I mean, that was kind of the way I was thinking. I wasn't going to vote, and Commissioner Creary, that's okay with you. It's like we just
yeah.
Okay.
But they could stay in the meeting.
Yes, if you want to stay in the meeting, that's fine. I mean, it's going to be recorded,
right.
Listed, so it's not secret.
Okay. All right. Cool. So,
how many commissioners? -2 do we have? Just in case there's a tie.
let's check here. Look,
there's 17 total persons in the meeting right now.
Right. So I'm just gonna count everybody and then do -2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, you got 12.
12. So that'd be 10.
See what happens.
All right. Okay, let's go for it. In the event of a tie, we can flip a coin. It's totally cool. Let's just leave it up to fate. It's totally fine. Okay. So again, please make your vote. I guess you can raise your hand, or we'll just record.
Sophie, how do you, because obviously here's the uncomfortable part is that people like both of the candidates. That's the reality.
Right.
And we don't want to fill in the blank. So
I think to make it easy as for Arusha, we can just say one name and then commissioners can raise their hands so she can record those votes. Okay. And then we'll say the other name. And you can choose to recuse yourself, but you can also vote if you would like to vote for yourself. Gotcha. Or you would like to vote for the other person. It's up to you.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm fine to do that. So Nick, I vote for you.
And I'll return you the favor.
Okay, there you go. All right, we're at 1-1. All right, let's just make this quick and simple. All those who would like to select Commissioner Creary for the representative on the Maryland Reparations Commission, please raise your hand.
And then Arusha, just let us know when you're ready for the next vote.
All right, I'll just give a few more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I count 5. I guess I would technically be, I don't know. Okay, anyway. All right. Hands down.
Maya Davis, it looks like you're okay.
Okay. All right. Those that would like to vote for Commissioner Falconley, please raise your hand. Give a few more seconds. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So I saw a vote of 5-3. Commissioner Creary, congratulations. You're the rep.
Well, thank you. Again, it is an honor to continue serving the commission. But I will definitely make sure that even though our commission is sunsetting, our work is going to continue.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know you will do wonderful work in that role. So as we kind of mentioned, we certainly welcome any commissioners to continue as part of the ongoing work of this commission, even as it sunsets. I've had conversations with Commissioner Millen about what that may look like through the Maryland Lynching Memorial Project. So again, anyone who is open to being a part of that work, please let me know. I will, so as Commissioner Creary, as we talked about, I'll be there as an alternate. I certainly want it to be a situation where we remain updated on the progress of the Reparations Commission. So in any case that you are not able to be there, I can slide right in and slide right back out. So yeah, but you're the one that's got to actually show up to all the meetings. So, have fun.
Yes. And
call me in when you need.
Oh, you know, I mean, I'll have you on speed dial. And I got you in the phone, but we'll get you up to speed dial.
Absolutely.
And the other thing is, and again, I don't know what the commission's plan is, but it's looking like I'm probably going to be heading back to the DMV. So that should make it easier to attend in-person meetings if that's the way they choose to go. So, but anyway, but yes, most of y'all, I have your phone numbers. Don't be surprised when you start getting calls and texts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Looking forward to it. We'll see how it'll be interesting to see how that journey goes versus what we just did. Good luck.
Hopefully it will take less time.
Right. Exactly. Awesome. So thank you all for that. We made it as painless as possible. All right. So the last thing on our under our new business is to make space for Ms. Sherry Warren. Thank you again, Ms. Warren, for being here. I recall meeting you. I'm sure others have met you over this journey, talking about the story of your brother Keith. And while we are sunsetting, one thing that we can do is give you this platform to share this story. It will be of record, so we can offer you that. And so thank you for taking us up on that offer. Just being mindful of time. We don't want to stop you, quite honestly, but we do want to be mindful of people's time. So we just ask that you do the same. But beyond that, the floor is yours. After you are done, we may have some questions. So commissioners, again, I thank you in advance for your time here and your attention. And yes, Ms. Warren, the floor is yours. Thank you for being here.
Hi, well, first of all, thank you so much for allowing me this time to talk about my brother Keith Warren. And I'll be brief. And if I go too fast, please stop me. I've been told I talk fast sometimes. But this is marking the 40th anniversary of my brother being found strung up on a tree in Montgomery County, Maryland, 1986. At the time of his death, we were told it was suicide. The police, Montgomery County, closed it immediately. I think literally stayed on scene 11 minutes to classify as a suicide. So as of 24, though, House Bill 969 and House Bill 868 passed in the last couple of years. Those two bills allowed me to use the law to force Montgomery County, Maryland Police Department to reclassify, the medical examiner reclassified my brother's case. So Keith's case has got, in 2024, went from suicide to now undetermined. Once the medical examiner reclassified the case, Montgomery County Police Department was supposed to, required under law, House Bill 969, to reopen the case. It's been a fight and a push and pull even to today to get the Montgomery County Police Department to at the least acknowledge that they did not properly investigate how my brother was found strung up on that tree. And it's been a situation, something that you all have fought for from the past. It's still going on today. In August of 25, my lawyer put in a FOIA request into Montgomery County Police Department for all the documentation on my brother's case. We're still waiting for those documents. They have tried to negotiate not giving me these documents. And I'm not going to, I can take questions offline, but it's, as you all know, under the FOIA, I should have got those documents 30 days later. They're still trying to negotiate not giving, and I don't know what's in these documents. They don't want us to see, me and my lawyer, but I'm going to see them because now they try to get my case dismissed, my complaint dismissed because we filed a complaint in January that we're still waiting on these documents. They try to get dismissed. We're still waiting on the ruling from the judge. But anyway, so I'm sad to say this committee was brought to my attention. The great work that you've done, I did my research. I just wanted to make it realize that my brother's case is, although it was 40 years ago, it's still current. And law enforcement is still covering up or not wanting to acknowledge that they didn't do their jobs. I don't know how else to frame that. Again, if there's a docuseries that came out in 22 called Uprooted. It's on Discovery Plus as well as Prime. I want to say Hulu. And it goes a 3-part docuseries of the struggle that my family has had to fight for the last 40 years just to get the state of Maryland to acknowledge that my brother's case was not investigated. His death was not a suicide. However, I can't for a fact say it wasn't not an accident. I can't say for a fact it was murder because law enforcement is fighting us. They're not working with us. And that's, again, another conversation. I wanted to present my brother's case to your committee to make a historical record of what's going on. Like, I don't know how else to fight a system. And it's hard when you don't know how to work a system. But when the system that you're supposed to be working with you works against you, it makes it even harder, particularly for family like mine. And again, I go back to legislation and House Bill 969 and House Bill 868. My mom, when my brother was first found strung up on that tree in 86, she didn't know the law. She didn't understand the law. So basically the law was used against her. And so House Bill 863, though, pushes out, and this is why legislation is so important. And at the time of my brother's death, my mom had 30 days to challenge his death certificate. House Bill 863 that was passed in 23 or 22, I gave testimony for both, pushes that out to 90 days now. That's so important when it comes to situations when you're dealing with death. You're not worried about how your loved one died at the beginning. You're trying to, deal with the loss. And then when questions start coming up, by the time you realize that this may be something wrong with the situation, it's hard for you to go back and fight because the law is now working against you. So I said all to say the legislation is very important, and for fighting for justice for families such as mine. And as you all probably, some of you are new to this case has been going on for 40 years. Local media doesn't want to touch it because they don't want to piss off Montgomery County, but that's not my problem. Anyway, myself to say, I wanted to present this to the committee to make my brother's name live on in the Maryland archives because the Montgomery County Police Department wanted to bury my brother's story with my brother. And my mother went to her early grave fighting for justice for my brother. And I'm going to still be here fighting for them to, at the very least, Montgomery County Police Department acknowledge that they did not investigate how this 19-year-old Black man was found strung up on a tree and nobody cared. And they still, to this day, are still fighting. But I digress. So I don't know how to proceed after that, but that's the gist of it. I just wanted to get my brother's case part of the historical record because I'm not going to go away. Like he was loved. He was a son. He was a brother. He was a nephew. He was a person. And law enforcement for Detective Beasley to try to present the narrative of how he wanted my brother's case to be acknowledged, and the fact that Montgomery County Police Department to this day is still fighting us on FOIA is weird. But I can't say enough how this committee bringing to light the cases that we've had to deal with, and the fact that we're still today dealing with this in Maryland is a travesty of justice, and it's got to be fixed. So accountability has to be acknowledged. Law enforcement has to come from behind that blue wall and acknowledge that they messed up. Just say you messed up. That's it. I'm not asking for anything else. Just acknowledge the fact that you did not investigate publicly my brother's death, that you allowed a Black man being strung up on a tree in 1986 to make it try to go away. And it's not going to go away. So that's, sorry. Okay, so I'm done.
No, thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Warren. And I'm sure my fellow colleagues agree that this is an act of courage. This is an act of justice. And from our standpoint of being on this commission, we're grateful that we can give this platform to you to say your brother's name. And I will say his name, Keith Warren. The story that you shared with us is a story that we are very familiar with because that has been the work of this commission, is to acknowledge the personhood of every victim of racial terror lynching that happened during the timeline we had to cover. And yes, they were young Black men, and in many times Black boys, and we do specify boys. You are correct, and that the fact that this has never truly gone away. Sometimes it looks different, other times it does not. And that is the reality that we continue to face, perhaps unfortunately now more than ever. And that is why this work is so very important. So even as we, as an official commission, sunset in a little over a month, this work will not end. Commissioner Creary, I know, will do his due diligence to maintain the legacy of the commission on the reparations commission. I'm very excited because I know what kind of damage he's going to do in a good way. It is about the policies. You said his magic word, accountability. You said what we as a commission wanted. Just say you're sorry. Just admit it. Tell the truth. That's what we're looking for. And your story is very much the story of what we heard across many of the jurisdictions in which we had hearings, where we made space for the descendants of neighborhoods, communities, victims. Tell us what you want. Truth. They want the truth. And so if we can do that and help to move forward that process for the legacy of your brother, your family, in honor of those who continue to fight, then we are grateful to have done our part. So with that, Commissioner Haley, I see your hand.
Thank you, Chair Fakunle. Ms. Warren, thank you so much for being with us today and sharing your story and sharing your desire. As this is a record, this is going to be an archivable record. I wanted to give you the opportunity because, along with what the chair said, it's about humanizing these individuals. It's not just about just naming them and just having them become a statistic. It's about who they were. So if you could please share with us who your brother was, specifically, like what did he like, what did he hate, who was his favorite team? I mean, things that really humanize this individual for us. So he's not only a person who was the victim of a horrible tragedy.
Oh wow, you're gonna get emotional. And that's not me. I'm usually lost for words. He was my best friend. He was my protector. He was opposite of me. So I am very forward, outgoing. I really listen, you're gonna get what you got. He was the opposite. He was quiet, reserved, but he was very protective. He was very so my mouth used to get me in trouble. We're originally from Durham, North Carolina. We went to a private Catholic school. He used to fight my battles and they used to beat me up for having to beat somebody up, but that's no conversation. He was loving. He was a nephew. He was a grandson. He was a cousin. He was loved. He was quiet. His favorite artist was Jimi Hendrix. I hated Jimi Hendrix, but he loved himself some Jimi Hendrix. You know, he was a handsome kind of dude. You know, girls loved him. I used to always tell them they're gonna get you in trouble. But I really want to also speak on my mom. My mom, back in 86, was a single Black female with 2 kids trying to fight a system that did not respect her. In the documents that I have received from Montgomery County a couple of years ago, Detective Beasley framed my mother as delusional, psychotic, crazy, all the things, just to turn the department against her and to silence her voice. But she never stopped because she, one, had the love of a mother for her son. My mom's quote, and I say this all the time, is my story is not your story today, but to continue to ignore my story, and my story will one day be your story. And look at what we're dealing with today. I have had people DM me with, all these different mysterious lynchings going on around the country, where people have questions, even to the most recent one behind the Washington, D.C. Police Department. Nobody talked about that, but that's how you gonna hang yourself? Yeah, okay, it's another conversation. So my brother was the quiet reserve. Me and my mom were like the lioness in her cub. That's my mom when it came to my brother. And she instilled that in me because I watched her for 20. She left this earth early from stress of trying to fight a system that didn't want to help her understand how her child ended up on that tree. The system was fighting her and not working with her. And even Doug Gansler came forward to admit that there is something wrong with how my brother's case was found, So Keith was not just a Black boy strung up on a tree, but he was loved. He had a future, there was hopes and wishes and dreams for him. And for Montgomery County to try to dismiss it and make it go away, it hurts because he mattered. Keith Warren, his life mattered. I'm here in North Carolina with my grandmother. My grandmother is 97, and all she wants to know is what happened to her grandson. She lived through the Jim Crow years. She was there. So for this to effectively happen in 86 was just really traumatic for her, but that's not the conversation. So to answer your question, Keith, he was a Jimi Hendrix rock, charismatic, handsome young man that had so much to live for. And it was taken from him.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Commissioner Creary. Absolutely. Commissioner Creary, I see your hand.
Thank you. And again, that just fits right into the heart of the work of this commission and I think that came out in just about every hearing, was hearing that, yes, this person, and I think, more broadly for every person who's lost their life in any of these racial terror lynchings, that still go on. And again, the oppression doesn't end, it just adapts. And again, this is just, I hate to say it, yet another case where a promising young Black life was snuffed out for no apparent reason, or certainly no good reason. Again, I'm just sort of brought back to Lieutenant Richard Collins, when, and again, I still am traumatized by having to go to College Park literally the week, and it's like 2 days, or was it 3 days after he was murdered, because that's where Bowie State was holding its commencement exercises at that point. And it was just, I still remember the empty chair on the platform where they laid out his graduation gown. It was visceral, and I am so sorry for your loss, and I'm so sorry that you have to go through this, and yet it does not surprise me at all. But yes, and so again, it's my whole buzzword on this is the accountability, and this is the kind of thing that I'm hoping will be able to bring to the Reparations Commission as well. And again, that we've been able to do as much of this, providing and creating space for people to bring their stories and their demands for justice and accountability. That's what we have. That is the work. That's what we have to do. And
but I feel like, let me jump. I feel like though, with said accountability, the work that you're doing on this end has to be mirrored on the other end, and that other end being law enforcement. Law enforcement, yes, people make mistakes. We're all human. Things happen. But what we also have to acknowledge is the truth. When you mess up, just say you messed up. But, and again, I'm gonna go back to my brother's case. We have Montgomery County Police Department literally not handing over documents. They're breaking a law. And why? What's the purpose? So how can your committee be successful in trying to expose and right these truths if the people responsible, for lack of a better description, are not working to meet you in the middle? It's hard. And I can't even imagine what it was 60 years ago, trying to make sense of the injustices and the mindsets of why they do these, why decisions are being made of, and again, going back to Keith's case, not releasing documents. What's the sense of not giving? What are you protecting? And if you're protecting anything, you should be protecting the truth. And the truth is, just acknowledge that you messed up. Things happen. Life goes on. We all gonna have to see something on another side one day. But to fight a justice system, to fight justice, is unacceptable in this progressive state of Maryland. It's not acceptable.
I wouldn't be so quick to say the progressive state of Maryland. Again, one of the things my students and I at Bowie State, argued, and I still hold, is Maryland is a southern state.
Yeah, we are.
Maryland lynched and lynches like a southern state. And the only response that keeps coming to mind to answer your question is, that's just being Black in America.
Yeah. That's sad that we have to sit here and sit in that being Black. And yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to hijack your call, but that's
You've been having this conversation for 7 years. Trust me, it's okay.
It's just, yeah. But the progressive thinking, it's just, anyway.
And I think that's part too. So to your point, Ms. Warren, I think that's what we have aimed to do with the time that we had as a commission. We very quickly realized that this was a very special opportunity, not just when it came to the story of racial terror lynchings, but we said pretty much immediately, this was going to be a referendum on systemic racism as a whole. You cannot tell the story of racial terror lynchings without telling the story of racism. And I'm grateful to all of my colleagues and everyone who supported this work. We weren't afraid of that. We were never afraid of that. And that is exactly what we did. And what gives me hope for the Reparations Commission is that we have direct links, to this work and the way that we went about it, that we hope will healthily inform what this Reparations Commission has to do. I mean, they're taking on the larger issue, right? So we were bound by this particular example of racial oppression and racial terrorism. They're looking at the whole pie, right? They got to start from the beginning, and that's going to tell the entire story. So to have a Commissioner Creary be the representative from our commission to help make sure that full story is reflected is critical, but also to pass along the wisdom and the knowledge and expertise of what we did over 7 years. We were supposed to have 3 years to do this. We ended up having 7, right, across multiple governors and all the things that happened, COVID and Mandarin Mussolini and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, I said it. Twice. and yet we can say we finished our story. We did, right? We finished our story. So in the midst of what feels impossible, we genuinely hope that this commission is an example of hope, but hope as practice, faith as practice, diligence as practice, community as practice. I'd love to believe that we all grew just a little bit, right, having this opportunity. And so we are committed to justice and using our power to the best of our abilities. And that's what we did as a commission. And that's the part I'm most grateful for. We had power. We used it for good. This is the result. With that, any other thoughts, reflections from commissioners? All right, seeing none, hearing none. Thank you again. Yeah,
Commissioner
okay, I
Miller,
believe it's your hand.
hand raised.
Okay, Commissioner Miller, I'm sorry, I see your hand.
On the electronic raise the hand. I was thinking, Ms. Warren, that if you have not connected with the Montgomery County Lynching Memorial Project, it's one of the county coalitions of the Maryland Lynching Memorial Project, and they may be interested in hearing your story and your brother's story. It may even be a source of advocacy and more county-based strength. So if you're interested in, if you haven't heard of them, I'm happy to connect, or through Chair Buckenley to help connect you.
Yes, please. And whatever I can, however I can keep amplifying Keith's story, however I can keep talking about it, I will find time, because I don't, he's never gonna, his story is not gonna be buried with him, which is what they wanted. Whoever did this wanted him to, his story, and it's not gonna happen. Not on my watch. So thank you for those yes, I'll be more than happy to share.
Okay. I'll get you an email through our chair contact.
Thank you for that, Commissioner Miller. Appreciate you. Any other thoughts? All right, seeing none, hearing none. Thank you again, Ms. Warren, for being here and for sharing your brother's story. I'm glad that we could make this space for you to do so. So moving to the last part of our agenda, any announcements? If you have an announcement, please feel free to put it in the chat. Commissioner Millen, I see your hand.
Yep. I have two announcements. There are going to be two historic markers, EJI markers, installed in the next couple of weeks. So if you're out in Kent County on May 17th at 2 p.m., the ceremony will begin at the Emmanuel Episcopal Church, and then they'll move outside for the unveiling and then reconvene inside for refreshments and gathering. So May 17th, Chestertown, Kent County. And then on June 7th, Westminster, Carroll County at 1 p.m. And they're going to start at the Church of the Ascension and then do a short walk to their marker site. So, you know, it'd be really great. Another example of connections between the commission and the coalition work. These are two of the counties that had their hearings at towards the end. And then Frederick County held a marker unveiling for the 3 victims in Frederick County in mid-April.
Thank you for sharing that, Commissioner Millen. Appreciate you. Any other announcements? All right, hearing none, seeing none, then we move on to adjourning this meeting. So again, I thank you all for being here. Thank you again, Ms. Warren, for being here as well and sharing your story and your brother's story. Everyone, please be on the lookout. We have a lot to put together for our final party. So to those, again, who are looking at spaces, please share that with me as soon as you can. Once we have our list of spaces, then we can move towards, well, do that concurrently. Compile invitees as well. So anybody you want to absolutely make sure is invited, please start to share that with me. I will probably, give me a day. I will probably put together a Google Doc. I will share out the Google Doc. Just start throwing names. It doesn't have to be individual names. Just like former commissioners, former staff, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? So we can kind of get an idea of the total list, hopefully match that up with a suitable space. To those who represent institutions and organizations, if they're willing to give us a little bit of change for at least chicken, then I appreciate that as well. And then we'll see how much we have to fill in the gaps so we can have a hearty meal to celebrate this accomplishment. Yes, Commissioner Haley, I see your hand.
Yes, I just want to double check, since we're going to have at least one, maybe we don't, I did time for more than one logistics meeting. So Sophie, this is something that we definitely have to have posted on the website. Well, as far as another open meeting, is that right? We were going to have the meeting for June 8th. That's already posted right now. But as far as this new logistics meeting that we're going to have, that we need to get an agenda, have that posted too.
Err on the side of caution, you could post the logistics meeting, or you can also just choose to just do it all over email. I think just depending on what's easier. Because it's just sending out invitations. If you do it potluck style, people signing up to bring different dishes. You know, I would defer to Amy on that.
All right, Commissioner Miller.
Yes.
Perfect
I
segue.
see that it was already flagged that the conversation would begin this Friday in executive committee.
I was
meeting.
saying since that's already on our calendars, we might. I figure that's
Yeah, and then it might just be
Just talk about it.
easiest to just invite commissioners who want to participate on Friday to that meeting, since that's already a standing meeting.
right.
So just
Okay.
shoot me an email if you would like to be added to the meeting on Friday.
Yep. So that's Friday at noon, from noon to 1. And so this will be what we're talking about is our final meeting. So if you want to stop by, please stop by.
And as such, that meeting does not have to be posted because that's just
No,
an
we haven't
extended.
posted
Okay.
any of the executive meetings.
Okay, great. All right.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right. Well, with that, thank you all again. I'll see some of y'all on Friday for this meeting. I'll see most of you except Commissioner Davis. Sorry, but you'll do your thing on June 8th for this final business meeting. And again, please be on the lookout for emails regarding that final meeting. Please let people know that need to be there. Please think about what you want to bring if you need to bring something. But we'll keep that moving and make sure it's a fitting end to this journey. But in the meantime, stay safe, stay sane, keep your mind right, your spirit right, your body right. Hopefully your wallet right too. And I'll see y'all in a month. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.